Why churros are always better at restaurants. Delicious fried choux pastry that's super easy to make. I'm gonna go over why they're better at restaurants and why certain things can make your churros go horribly wrong. The differences between Spanish and Mexican churros. And yes, churros are, I guess, apparently popular at Disneyland. I've never been, so I couldn't tell you. Before getting into the video, my energy does drop in this video. I just found out that my grandpa passed while making the video, so. This right here is my measuring tool, the pot. You might be wondering, how are you going to measure out your churro ingredients with a pot? Well, this brings me to the first thing on making the churro dough, and that is this right here. This is called a scale. And why things always come out consistent at the restaurant, and you might wonder how they get the same every time, and that's because they use a scale. If you were to use something like a cup or a tablespoon, it could be different because people have different ways of measuring those things. It could be mounded over, some people would have it flat, straight, it's just always random. And also different ingredients, they could be more compacted than others. So if you get a scale, that certain ingredient will weigh the same every single time. As I was saying before I got cut off from the microphone, you can put your pot on top of the scale and it's going to be the same product every time if you go by weight. Imagine a pinch of salt. That's different for everybody. My pinch could be different from your pinch. But with the scale, it's going to be the same amount of salt every time and produce the same product every single time. Now on to how to cook the churro dough. Why is it that we need to cook pot of choux? Well, the reason is when you cook it with the flour, it gelatinizes the flour in a way. So that's what creates that puff situation with pot of choux dough. So that's why it's gonna nicely puff up when we fry it. It's also very dense dough, which is the reason why I use wooden spatulas. When I use a wooden spatula, it's more durable than, say, if I were to use something like a flimsy rubber spatula, which I've broken these plenty of times when working with pot of choux. I just use wooden spatulas because it's just so freaking dense. Now when it comes to mixing it, I like to use a stand mixer instead of by hand, just because it's a lot easier unless you're really freaking strong. So that's the reason why I do that. Now why do I crack my eggs into a separate vessel? The reason is I need to get really quick when I'm mixing it because I'm emulsifying the eggs into this mixture. And make sure that the dough is still warm because that helps with the emulsification process. Now when it comes to bags, I use these durable nylon bags because if I were to use a plastic bag or say a Ziploc bag, it's prone to stretching and tearing and making a mess and popping everywhere. I use the nice star tip like this and then the nylon bag just because it's more durable. If you want to see the one that I use, it's this one right here and you can just grab it online. Now for my setup, it's a sheet tray followed by some non-stick spray and then parchment paper and then some sort of starch. Like this case, it's cornstarch. And that is my setup for the churros. And now back to regular mic setup. Test, test. Oh hey, we've got audio back. Just realized my microphone was off. Cool. So here's the reason for putting it onto a sheet tray instead of directly onto the fryer. And that is I can get pretty much whatever shape I want, and I also have control. See, at the restaurants, what we would do is just pipe out a bunch of long lines like this, and then freeze it. And then we can cut it into smaller churro bites if we wanted to. Or you can make fun little circle shapes if you want. It's really just up to you at this point, but we want to freeze it. See, the reason for freezing these guys is they'll hold their shape very well. They hold their shape very well, which also leads them to fry off better. And the reason mainly why we did these at the restaurant like this is because we can pipe out a ton and just bang out the order when it comes out. It's kind of tough to pipe it out to order when you have a bunch of other things going on. So this is a really good way to streamline it if you're wondering how you can make these for a large setting. So how do you fry your churros? Why do I use beef fat? Well, for one, beef fat has a higher smoke point. On top of it having a higher smoke point, it's just good. I like beef fat over most seed oils. And on top of that, animal fats, what they're gonna do is they're gonna allow it to be more transportable, if that makes sense. It's gonna hold it longer. If you fry some sort of pot of choux or pastry in an animal fat or a lard, something like that, it's gonna have this coating, like this outer layer. As you see, the fat it sort of like coagulates. It just gets like it gets like a layer over the pastry and protects it. While as in like the seed oils, it's just gonna absorb it like a sponge, and it's just gonna release all the oils, and it's not gonna hold as long. Now in frying churros, we wanna make sure that the oil's not too hot. 350 is gonna be too hot for these. The ideal temp would have to be around 320, 325. It's also good to keep in mind that once you put something into the fryer, that temperature is gonna drop quite a bit, probably by like 20 degrees or so. You wanna keep that in mind so you don't overcrowd the pot and then drop the temperature too much. Now, why is the temperature lower than usual for the churros? Well, the reason being is if we cook the outside way too fast and the inside's gonna be raw. That's basically it. It's very straightforward. That's why we always had a separate fryer on deck whenever we were frying churros in service. Also, mainly because you don't want churros to be fried in like the same things as the savory foods, like, you know, fried shrimp and stuff like that. No bueno. Test, test, test. Okay, here's the difference between Spain churros and Mexico churros. I grew up with the Mexico churros, so whenever I post churros on the internet, I get a lot of random people saying like, those aren't real churros, they're only made with floured water. Well, that's a difference. So the Mexican churros, they have eggs, they have sugar in them, not just flour and water, so it makes them more fluffier and sweeter. It's just different. Now, the other key difference is this stuff right here, known as churro dust. Now, what is churro dust? Churro dust is just sugar plus cinnamon. Now, I'm not gonna really go into depth on that, like on how to like make it, because it's very straightforward, just sugar plus like cinnamon. So do like whatever ratio you want for this. But that's the other difference. While Spanish churros, typically they might be coated with some sugar, sometimes they're not. Mexican churros, they always are coated with sugar or cinnamon sugar. So that's just like the main key difference. Whenever I was a kid going to Mexico with my mom, we'd go to this store called the Soriana, and they always had the churros dusted with the cinnamon sugar. It was the freaking best. I usually try to like dry these off as much as possible before putting them into the sugar situation, just so there's not like so much clumping going on. So typically at work, we had a churro box. It was this glass box with like a heat lamp in it, and that would keep the churros warm. If you don't want to serve them immediately, you could just do this, put them in your oven on the warm setting, 170, and just keep them in there nice and warm and fluffy. And that's all there is to it. If you want more in-depth on like what the best sauce is for these, I have many churro videos on my channel. One of my favorite sauces was the pumpkin pie sauce. But either way, my favorite childhood snack, there you go. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll drop the recipe as always down below. Let me know what you want to see for why it's always better at restaurants.